Oluchi heard God clearly. My daughter, eagles do not fight the storm, they soar above it. She lifted her head slowly, tears still fresh on her cheeks. You need to stand up and stop crying. The journey ahead requires strength. Your studies, your children, and the mentors I will send your way. Be strong and of good courage. Her breathing steadied. Then the word came alive in her spirit. In 1 Corinthians 10:13, God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape. Oluchi wiped her tears. No more lying on the floor in defeat. No more drowning in voices that did not understand her journey. She stood up, and she channeled her strength into her books, into her children, into her purpose. She fixed her eyes on God. The gossip was heavy. The whispers didn't stop. Divorce? Even with all her prayers? Those piercing words came like arrows, again and again, even from people she once called family, even from those who didn't know she was silently carrying her own cross. Some still called her for counseling, for prayers, unaware that the woman praying for them was also fighting to breathe. But God sent help. Quiet help, true help, destined help. A voice echoed constantly in her life, a mentor, firm yet full of grace. Oluchi, you must finish that nursing school. You must not disappoint heaven. And she held on to those words like oxygen. God sent people who stayed. Not for a day, not for a visit, but for months. People who watched her closely, who made sure she didn't break, who stood in the gap when she was too weak to stand. Slowly, the burden of divorce began to lose its weight. Not overnight, not all at once, but little by little. Healing came. Some days it still hurt. Some memories still knocked. But Oluchi had grown. She had developed strength, coping skills, grace under pressure. She prayed, she exercised, she showed up to church, not for people, but for God. And from the depth of her pain, something beautiful was born. A song. Jesus never fails. A testimony turned into worship. A message wrapped in melody. A reminder to herself, and to the world, that even in brokenness, God remains faithful. And Oluchi, she was no longer just surviving, she was soaring.